you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There, ladies, things that makes it official. Welcome to the big show. We certainly appreciate it. As always, the Chris Voss Show is a family that loves you, but doesn't judge you as harshly as the rest of your family does, because they always give you that side eye at Thanksgiving, right? But we love you. But remember, we don't loan you money, so stop asking. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss, one of the TikTokity, and all those crazy places on the internet. Today we have an amazing young lady on the show. Today we're going to be talking about her insights and some of the things she's learned. She's kind of an interesting entrepreneur's life journey in the business that she's working on. Dr. Sally Hines joins us on the show today. She is a pharmacist, 6th-degree black belt, and master of the Songam style of TaeKwonDo. Did I get that pronounced right? Songam?
Yeah, it's Songam.
Songam style
Yes.
of the TaeKwonDo.
Yes.
Turned entrepreneur. She's the owner of RX Warrior, LLC, a company dedicated to helping people overcome adversity on their health, wellness through education, and the Nutri Warrior line of supplements. She spent more than 25 years as a practitioner in ATA martial arts, is a 2-time world champion. I'm not going to fight her over anything during the show. A renowned international judge, and has played women's ice hockey for nearly 15 years. Wow. Dr. Sally, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. So happy to be here today.
6th-degree black belt. If I upset you at any point during the show, please don't hurt me.
I'm actually really hard to offend.
Okay. I'm not going to. 6th-degree black belt. That sounds it's like, is that 6 black belts stacked on top of each other?
That's 6 black belts, yeah, kind of. You don't wear 6 of them at the same time. No, but so it's taken me a lifetime to get there. I mean, I started when I was a kid, 7 years old.
Wow, that is wild, man. Yeah, I'm not going to fight you over anything. Give us your .coms. Where can people find you guys?
rx-warrior.com is my website and store link. On pretty much all the social medias, but the biggest one I'm on is of course Facebook at rx.warrior.
RX Warrior. So give us a 30,000 overview of what you do there, Sally.
Throughout the many years as a pharmacist, I've been kind of interested in the natural supplements that kind of can work with your body to do things more healthily maybe than some drugs out there can do, which for me, it's mostly been driven by my life in martial arts and hockey and recovery. But come COVID time, a lot of people started asking me, what can I do for brain fog? What can I do for joint pain? And in 2021, my wife overcame ovarian cancer, and in coming off of chemo and stopping chemo and all of the side effects that came with that, a lot of joint pain and brain fog and those things that COVID also hit too. I brought together all of the research that I'd done through the years to create this line of supplements that I have that is Nutri Warrior.
RX Warrior. Why do you feel that they're better than some of the things that are on the market?
As a pharmacist, and I'm in retail pharmacy, it's difficult to recommend products that are on the shelf when, first of all, you don't see that they have third-party testing, so you don't know what's in them. I know there was some scandals about, what was it, maybe 10 years ago or so, about things being on the shelves that didn't have what they say they had in them. No. Yeah. Most recently, there was a joint product on the market that was actually contained actual steroid in it. And although, a lot of people were raving about it, and now it's been completely removed from the market because it contained things that it didn't say it contained. So first off, we're third-party tested so that we have quality products. The other thing is that I know that some people don't like to talk about proprietary blends, but why are you going to give the other guy what it is exactly what you have in your product so they can make it too. But we do have things like, I've got a mushroom supplement, I've got a joint supplement, I've got a brain booster supplement that is actually my bestseller right now.
Wow. Yeah, we need all sorts of brain stuff. I just got over COVID for the very first time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
3 weeks ago, I had it. 4 weeks ago, I had it.
Okay, yeah.
It's time spinning out. But yeah, it's still dragging on with me. It's taking forever to get cleared out. It's moved in.
Yeah, a lot of, I've known a few people who suffer the long COVID, and actually it's taking them years to get through that exhaustion and brain fog.
So what type of, so I see here they're also FDA registered facility, made in an FDA registered facility, third party certified. There's the GMP, good manufacturing practice, and made in the USA thing, and also recyclable materials, I guess. So you got all the standard certifications there, I guess? Pretty
much, yeah. The big one for me is the NSF certification. That certifies that there's nothing else in there than what it says is in there. And that's really huge for sport, because a lot of athletes do go through drug testing. So what's on the label is what's on the label.
That's probably important. I hear a lot of people that don't pass drug testing, and they're like, must have been something I stepped in or something. I don't know. And you're like, unless you're Russian, of course, then we know what you're up to.
Yeah.
Was Russian in the Olympics. So tell us about your journey. How did you grow up? It sounds like you started doing black belts or karate at 7. What was your influences?
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle, which,
that's a good
Ninja
thing.
Turtle, Karate Kid. Yeah, those were the things that started me. But I started when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I got through most of the color belts through red belt. And then there were some politics that happened, and my parents pulled me out of the school that we were in. And at about 15, I found another school that was not too far away from, and because I could finally drive, or was going to be able to drive, my parents, let me go back, signed my brother up too. And that's history. I've been with my instructor for nearly 25 years now. Yeah.
What was it that drew you to karate? What was it that what did you hope to resolve, or was there some sort of the thing that attracted you to it?
I think the thing that, of course, the thing that attracts a kid is wanting to learn how to fight and be like they're superheroes.
Kick the bullets' asses at school, maybe?
Yeah, but the things that keep me going in the martial arts, because to stay with the same thing for so long, you go through periods of time where you just don't feel like training, or life takes over. But to those of us who have been in the martial arts for our whole life, when things are going bad, you get back to the mats. Yeah. Because that's where you take care of your own mental health. And for me, it's family, it's mental health, it's friends. You can't do a tornado kick when you're thinking about something else. So it's definitely kind of meditative and mind clearing.
Yeah, the tornado kick is a hard thing to do if you've had Taco Bell the night before.
Yeah.
Not sure what that means, but don't do that spin. Don't do that spin. No. In fact, the tornado takes on a whole new level of definition after Taco Bell buffet night.
You definitely don't want to be wearing your white uniform.
Don't white uniforms. I don't know what that means, folks. So you mastered the art. What's your goals in karate? What do you see in the future there?
Right now, within my organization, trying to use RX Warrior to bring education about supplements and nutrition and the natural things that we can do for ourselves that not only increase recovery within the martial arts world, but just increase your recovery in general from health battles. So go ahead.
And how did you become a pharmacist? What led you into that industry?
So when I was in high school, I was kind of, you're kind of looking around, deciding what it is you want to do with your life. And my dad's a eye doctor, and I have a lot of aunts who are nurses. So healthcare was kind of a way for me to go. And I definitely wanted a program that was going to get me a doctorate of some sort. At that point in time. That was kind of a big thing for me. Although right now the Doctor of Pharmacy degree is the standard degree coming out of pharmacy schools. But healthcare, I started in the pharmacy when I was 18, just as a technician, and getting to learn about health and how I can help other people in the best way possible. That's kept me where I am.
And now you're using it to help people get healthier and stuff. What do you feel draws you to karate? Is there it kind of helps center the mind, I think.
Yes.
If you learn to control the physical body, you can control the mind, basically, I guess. What do you feel about that? Why would you recommend karate to someone?
I definitely recommend martial arts to anyone because of that confidence building that you get from going through the belt ranks, and and that gives you a goal to reach towards, which then teaches you how to reach for higher goals, and how you break down. Your goal may be black belt, but you have to break just like in life, you have to break down those goals into smaller goals to get there, which are the color belt ranks, and then yes, it's meditation through movement. I guess you could say, because when you're focusing on what you're doing with your own body, you literally cannot be thinking about, what happened at work or what happened at school.
I do that every morning in the smallest room of my home after some coffee. There's a lot of focus. People are going in the smallest room of my home. A lot of focus. Yeah, usually after coffee. Yeah, explain that joke a little. One of the things you sell on your site is creatine. Creatine's great. I do bodybuilding. Of course, I don't know. People are looking at me going, the only bodybuilding he does is as it calendars pies. That's about the only thing going on there. So you sell creatine, mushroom booster for immune systems, muscle pain cream, isolate whey. Do you want to tell us some of these products, maybe feature them a little bit?
Sure. So my top seller right now is the Brain and Focus Booster with the Mushroom Immune Blend. The mushroom blend has 10 different mushrooms in it, including the big ones like reishi and cordyceps and lion's mane, and the ones that really do help not only the immune system, but because they have multiple chemicals within a mushroom that do many, many things, they're also brain boosting. So that's why I always recommend them together, because not only is the brain booster fantastic with the GABA and the vitamins and the things that give your brain the best opportunity to work well, the mushroom booster also works in cohesively with those vitamins, and to boost the way that you're thinking, get out of that brain fog, really be able to hone in and focus. The other products that I have, creatine, glutamine, protein, those are really great for the body and for recovery. However, right now we're realizing that creatine actually is really great for the brain, especially when you're getting older. Glutamine is really great for the brain also. A friend of mine recommends it to all of her oncology patients going through brain issues and chemo issues. And then protein supplement that it blends really, really well. I put it into my smoothie every single day, but the majority of people who are trying to increase to become healthier and change their body makeup are not eating enough protein. How many women go straight to a salad and don't think about, oh, am I eating enough protein? Am I getting the building blocks my body needs?
How much protein should you have? There's always kind of, I don't know if there's a full variation of it, but they seem to get different.
There is a range. Okay. We kind of go towards 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. However, some athletes can go up to 2 grams depending on what they're doing. Does the average person who's maybe only doing a 30-minute walk every day need that much? Maybe not. So there is a big range, and you kind of have to decide, is if you're an elite level athlete, you probably need more because you have a higher metabolism rate, you're having more output, whereas just somebody who maybe sits at a desk all day, maybe gets a walk in, you don't need that much more. You don't need the 2 grams. You might need maybe a gram per pound of lean body mass.
So how does that work? Okay, so honestly, I'm 300 pounds. I think I'm a little bit below it, but I seem to kind of range in that sort of thing. And I never have been able to figure this out, because at 300 pounds, what would be my lean body mass?
There are scales out there that you can buy that are fairly cheap. You stand on it, it reads out to your phone, and it tells you what your breakdowns are. That makes it really easy. The other thing you can do is use a body mass or there's a number of different calculator apps out there that you just plug in your numbers and it will give you an output and a range for you. And that's kind of a base area to start with, because what I've found is that personally, the way that it worked for me is using Apple Health to go in and calculate what my actual energy expenditure was, and then being able to put that into those calculators.
See, that's what I've never been able to figure out, because I'm like, if I'm 300 pounds and it's a pound, or it's a gram?
Right. So you're probably looking around maybe the 200 range. 200 to 250, depending on how tall you are. Okay. So I'm 6'3". So I aim for about between 200 and 220 grams of protein per day.
And you can only digest 30 to 40 in an hour?
So yeah, I've read a few different things most recently, and that it's not that you can't absorb that, it just takes longer.
Oh, okay.
So you can
it's not
eat
like just throwing it away.
No, you can eat a bigger meal. It's just that you're going to be, it's going to take longer for your body to absorb that. Yeah.
That's what it is then.
Yeah.
Now I don't feel so bad, because if anytime I dump too much whey into my drink, I'm like, it's just going to disappear. So it looks like my Withings scale says my body composition is 70% muscle. So would it be 70% of 300 maybe?
Yeah, 70% of 300 plus a little bit more for, your
Bits and giggles.
bone mass, water weight, things like that.
Oh, bone mass. I'm very big boned. I'm not really fat. That's what most of the 300 pounds is bone. Got my own.
It's okay, so long as you're moving towards the goal.
All right, so that's basically about 8 protein drinks a day if I stick to 30. I think I usually push 40.
Yeah, that's if you're doing a liquid diet. I mean, a 8-ounce steak or 8-ounce piece of chicken has 60 to 70 grams of protein in it there. I always recommend counting macros, because then you take into account the things that you're eating throughout the day normally, and then you supplement with a protein powder, because otherwise you may not get all that protein in.
Yeah.
Kind of hit a volume limit.
Yeah. God, it's 7 to 8. Yeah, if I go have a steak. One of the problems is when I eat real food, it really sticks to me. If I just eat protein day, I do a lot of intermittent fasting.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, and it works really well for me. But if I stick to protein shakes, I don't put on much weight. But if I go start eating beef and stuff,
okay,
I'll bulk up, and I don't really want to bulk up at 300. We've already seen that movie.
That's where macros counting comes in, because you got to figure out what the carbohydrates that you're doing, and you can't always go by weight on the scale. Weight on the scale is just it when you're changing your body makeup and increasing muscle mass and decreasing body fat. That weight on the scale is not. It's going to take a long time to actually change. No. I always recommend paying attention to the inches that you're losing. Measure your waist and your chest and your arms and your legs, and maybe every month or so redo those measurements, because those are going to tell you if you're actually changing the makeup of your body. Instead of just looking at weight.
That's probably an important thing for people to know, because sometimes people will be like, okay, I'm going to start a diet. I'm going to eat well today, the first day, and then I'm sure everything will be fine after that. And then they get on the scale the next morning and they don't lose any weight. And they're like, fuck this. This doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it does seem to take a long time of applying something sometimes, especially if you have insulin resistance, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I try and I really don't get on the scale more than once a month, and so
like
measuring, because women especially can vary, significantly throughout the month with hormone fluctuations, and actually guys can too, based on water intake and salt intake, and also hormone fluctuations of theirs. If you pick about the right time every month to weigh yourself, you're probably getting a more accurate reading than trying to go at every day. If you were a elite level athlete, then every day might be a thing if you're sweating a lot and you're worried about losing too much water weight and getting dehydrated. But the average person really doesn't need to weigh themselves on a daily or even weekly basis, because there's a lot of things that you can't necessarily control that are going to make an impact on your weight.
That explains why the thing's always moving around on me and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
What have we talked about that you guys do with your products? I know you have a blog here, looks like the Warrior blog. What have we talked about that you guys are offering there that we need to cover?
So I do have we covered 5 or 6 of my products here. I do have a joint supplement. It has glucosamine, MSM, which is going to help to keep the cartilage healthy, keep it lubricated. Also turmeric to bring down inflammation. I do have a CBD muscle pain cream, although that's really great for joint too. Actually, one of my friends just went through a year of master's training, at the end of which she had to have a partial knee replacement, and she said that really helped get her through. Otherwise, I do have, I've got a probiotic supplement. Probiotics are because your digestive tract, which really starts up in your head all the way through your butt, is the main way that Taco Bell
travels that way, I think.
It's the main
into the butt.
Yeah, it's the way that the initial immune system starts. So you breathe things in, through your nose, through your mouth. They get into your system, or you eat them. And if your intestinal tract is not healthy, then that's how bugs can get in and start to cause problems. Your things start going where they're not supposed to in the body.
The gut is your second brain, they say.
Yes.
Yep. It's your second brain, and you got to be careful what you put into it. I used to put a lot of alcohol into mine for 20 years, and I mean, it was just at the end I started really listening to my body and was like, this isn't helpful for anybody. And I got tired of being poisoned and hungover, and I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it's been the best thing for me. But, some of the stuff we eat, a lot of this processed food and, fast food, of course, isn't, it's just kind of made to give us dopamine hits en masse, just like drugs.
Yes.
And I was going to tell the joke earlier, too, when we were talking about grams of stuff. Sometimes, I think you said 2 grams for if you have protein. I was like, yeah, that sounds like what I was doing in the 80s. 2 grams. I don't know what that means, folks. I just had to, I don't know. I thought it was a joke that was worth stretching for. Maybe I was wrong. But probiotics are really good because you don't do cocaine, folks.
Yeah. So the biggest thing, for probiotics, the biggest thing that you really want to pay attention to is what's in, is how many cells per capsule there are. So in each capsule of Nutri Warrior probiotic, there's 20 billion cells per capsule, or 40 billion per 2 capsules. You can go and look at things on the shelf at your local retail store, and maybe they have 2 or 3 billion, and that's really not enough to help replenish and create and make sure that mucosal barrier is healthy. It's really just kind of scratching the surface a little bit. And then my final product is my vitamin K2 plus D3. K2 helps D3 support the bone system and put calcium where it's supposed to go and not where it's not supposed to go.
Yeah, you got to take the K3 or the K2 with the D3.
K2 with the D3, yeah.
K2, I get confused sometimes with that whole D3 and D2. I flunked second grade, as we all know. It's a callback joke. So how much do you recommend people taking D3? There's some people that recommend taking like a lot.
See, that it comes down to, for some people, it will come down to a blood test. It also depends on where you live in the world. You know, if you live down in a sunny state and you're outside all the time, well, your body's going to naturally make more D3. But if you're living up in the northern states where there's a lot of snow, I'm in Chicago, and we're lucky if 9 months of the year we're inside. Maybe June, July, and August, a little bit of September, we get to be outside. So there's not there's not really a right answer for each and every person. Oh. Yeah. Mine does have, I believe, 5,000 IUs per capsule, but that's not necessarily, what everybody needs. Some people need to take 50,000, at a pop. Some people don't need that much because they're getting out
vitamin D.
Yeah, yeah. Vitamin D comes.
Not die?
It comes as a 50,000 IU capsule. Yeah, it's prescription strength, but
I was always like, God, if I take 2 of these, I think I'll die. I think, but then there's some people who recommend 10,000, and I've often been like, I don't know. I thought you would die at a certain point. I heard about people who drank vitamin D milk that somehow got too much vitamin D and it killed them. And so I'm always like a little paranoid about the vitamin D there. But I didn't know you could take up to 50,000. Wow. That's
people who are significantly deficient, and that.
Oh, really?
That's a significant deficiency, and that is a prescription only product.
Probably have some sort of disease that maybe, I don't know, you don't produce enough or suck enough out.
Or you spend your entire life sitting in your, basement.
You live in Alaska, maybe.
Yeah. Even Alaska gets sunshine.
Yeah, a little bit here and there. But yeah, that's interesting to know, because I've seen a lot of people on the internet going, you should do at least 10,000. And I know I didn't used to do 5,000. I feel better, I think, at 5,000. I was thinking especially maybe if you work out, you should do more maybe. I don't know.
Vitamin D is part of so many different body functions. If you're working out more and increasing the amount of output that you're doing, your body needs more in order to do more, you could say.
Yeah. Definitely. Maybe I'll look at going up to 10,000. So as we go out, pitch people on picking up your products, getting to know you better. Do you do any coaching or any consulting? Maybe people can call in and talk to you or anything.
I am always doing consulting. You are welcome to message me, and I will message you back personally to whatever questions you may have, and I will be the one answering you for sure. But as far as personal coaching, that's in the future for sure. Right now, we're focusing on the products, and the coaching may be coming on maybe later in the year, early next year. But if you have questions, you just want to talk to a pharmacist, message me, ask me a question, go right ahead. But rx-warrior.com is my website. You can find me on Instagram at Nutri Warrior, at Nutri_Warrior13. I'm on most of the other social medias as rx.warrior.
Dr. Hines, it's been wonderful to have you on. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me on today, Chris.
You got it. And thanks to our audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTokity, all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. And that should have us.